Okay, back with you here. I'll show you what I've got going on. I've got a big air compressor in my garage here. This is the main line running to my regulator. I've got my big compressor set at about 80 psi. When I use air tools, it's usually 80 to 90, or 90 to 100 psi. But I found that kind of pushes my system here. Right now I've got the airbrush regulator set at 40 psi. You'll see that'll drop down a little bit when I'm actually airbrushing. I do have some nice airbrushes just because that's another hobby of mine. You don't need anything this fancy for doing Duracoat. You can use a cheap Harbor Freight one. I think initially for the details I'm going to use my HPCS for my WADA. I need to lube up a little bit before I start going. And then after that I'm going to hit it with my Iwata Custom, I think TH. This is closer to like an automotive style spray gun with a fan pattern. I'm going to use that for the outsides of everything. It just lays down a nice smooth coat. It does lay it on pretty heavy, so we're going to try to be quick with our passes on that. If you guys have any experience doing any painting, water, air compressors create condensation and water in the tank, so you want to have multiple layers of trapping that water. I've got my system over on the wall over there, another water trap at the regulator, and then I put another one at the gun, at the airbrush. Okay, so thank God for the internet. I went and found the real Magpul FDE Duracoat recipe. Let me find it here. And I don't remember who posted it, but it was 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of Leupold Dark Earth, 1 teaspoon of DM Lizard, Desert Mirage Lizard, and then another teaspoon of Firearm's Coyote Brown. And then we'll add 3 mils of flattener and another ½ teaspoon of hardener. I made up a double batch here, and then I actually put a label on here so I know where to fill all these. And then it's kind of warm today. I think I'm going to add some reducer. This is my max reducer line. I don't want to go above that. Duracoat recommends you can add reducer up to 20% by volume. So I just measured it with a ruler and threw a line on there. Really, I should have put the flattening agent line before the hardener line, but it is what it is. I don't like these little bottles that Duracoat sends, so I kind of throw mine into an airbrush paint bottle that I can actually see, and I shouldn't have shook it up yet because now I can't see my lines. Okay, I got the hardener in there. It wasn't as bad as I thought. And we need 3 mils of flattening agent. Okay, I got the flattening agent shaken up. I'm going to pull out 3 mils of my syringe here. Add it into our mix. This is probably going to be like way more than I need for airbrushing this, and unfortunately I already added my hardener, or else I'd be able to just stick this in the fridge and it should last a little while. Usually I try to find a bunch of projects to paint when I'm Duracoating, but just in case I have some leftover, but we'll be alright. Okay, I'm going to shake this up really well. Should have a bunch of napkins sitting out, paper towels. Anytime you're airbrushing with paints like this or automotive paints, you'll want to wear a respirator. I'm not going to today, or you're not going to be able to hear me, and I think it'd get in the way of the camera. I keep mine in a Tupperware. It makes it last longer, because when I'm wearing it I'm not wearing it for like really long periods of time where it's wearing it out. And if you keep it open to the atmosphere, the cartridges will go bad. So I keep it in Tupperware just to get longer life out of it. You can use one of those big Ziploc baggies too, like a gallon or bigger size. One benefit to using bottles like this, rather than like before I was using just little mixing cups, is you can shake it rather than having to stir it, which like that hardener sometimes can settle on the bottom and you can't really pick it up if you're using a popsicle stick or a toothpick to stir it. This, you can shake it, you're going to get a better mix. And the biggest benefit is it's going to make it way easier to get into the airbrush than pouring out of a cup, because the cup will spill pretty much no matter what. I've never had it not. Hopefully my camera doesn't get covered in Duracoat here doing this. But we're going to start off with the Iwata HPCS. I'm going to use this mostly to get into the insides of all the parts and maybe some of the smaller stuff. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to one last go over. This is a tack rag. They're using automotive painting. It's kind of sticky. It's got, I don't know what's on it, but when you get these, it's going to be like a folded sheet. Just unfold it and kind of ball it up. When you first get it, they're really sticky. I kind of let mine sit out a little while. Kind of helps get some of the initial tackiness away from it. Don't like how that is. I'm going to tack rig everything, get some of that towel lint out of it. I also did sweep the garage really well and kind of even spray it down with some water that's already dried because it's so hot out. But the less dust in your area, the better. Overspray, I'm not too concerned about the lawnmower and stuff like that. But the kids' toys and the radio flyer I covered up because the wife doesn't appreciate it when I get it full of grinding dust and airbrushing overspray. Okay. I'm going to go over quick with just some air right from the airbrush. Another reason I don't like sandblasting is I've sandblasted parts in the past, cleaned them, thought they were clean incredibly good, spent a lot of time blowing out all the crevices, getting all the media out of it, start airbrushing, and all of a sudden there's sandblast media in my finish. You know, stuff like that, especially throwing sanded apart under pressure, it's going to find anywhere and everywhere to hide on you. Alright, let's get this going.